What's up everybody? My name is Shaq and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys how to go from this picture to this picture and my entire process through Lightroom. So now that we're here, we're going to go right into Lightroom. So with this picture, I like to start off by cropping. I mean, some people like to crop at the end, but I personally prefer to just go right away, get that Instagram crop, because most of the time these pictures are going to go right up onto someone's Instagram. So what I'll do is I'll crop it, boom, I'm happy. I forgot to do this. I usually like to straighten it out right away too, so I can have a nice little visual of what the picture is going to be at the very end. Just fix that just a touch. Boom. I think I'm going to leave it like this for the rest of the crop. Let's hop right back up. I have a giant little preset thing going on right now. I've just been sitting around and just working on presets non-stop. For this picture, I went with my earthy. I know. It looks terrible right now. It looks super overexposed. Can't see anything. Why is everything all one mesh of a color? Well, we're gonna fix that real quick. What I like to start with for this is obviously, you see my exposure is at 0.3 overexposed, so I'm gonna bring that down about 1.2. Bring the shadows up just a bit. Bring this down, shadows down a bit actually. Lift that and just slowly bring this all into nice little details. So after I'm done with the shadows, I find it's a little bit too contrasty. So I'll bring this down and we get a little bit more detail back in her face, and it's just not too much, you know. Bring a clarity down from this preset and bring the vibrance up because I want a bit more color in it versus something like this, you know. So a little bit more color, maybe put it about 47 and bring my saturation down just a touch. So after that, I like to just go in. All right, so I'll put it about here. And let me mute this so I don't get any more notifications. We'll bring these whites down just a little bit to about 4 and lift the shadows up just so we can maintain all the light in her face. Next up, we're gonna hop right on over to the tone curves. For this picture, I think honestly we should lift these blacks just a bit. Right over here, you see it gets a little washed out. That's a lot. And we're gonna take the shadows and move them over and up. So we have something like that going on. I don't want to drop these midtones, so I want to raise them. Actually, let me put them right about at the center. Right there should be good. Bring this highlight down a touch and bring this up over here. Actually, let's bring these up just a bit. Boom, this is how far we've gone already. So now we're going to hop into the HSL tab. As you can see, it's not making much of a difference. I'm just taking this little green area here and making them a bit more brown. So basically what I did was, this is the bulk of my preset. See that I bring my greens and the hues, I bring them down to more of a yellow. I take my yellows and bring them more into like the orangish. Orange and red, I keep them there. Blues, I brought them up a bit darker blue. And aqua, I left them as it is. For this picture, you can play with it just a bit, make them a bit bluer to get this blue here. It's all personal preference at this point. Come in, here we go. Reds, I don't want to touch. Oranges, maybe I'll touch just a bit. For skin tone, bring it up just a very slight mud, like here, like not even like 5. It's more than enough. Yellows, as you can see, yellows is going to be all around here. If you want to saturate it, go for it. I think a little desaturated is nice for this picture especially. Greens, not much greens, just on the bars. We got some greens. Bring this down because I don't want to have any green popping up. Aquas, the bars again. So we're gonna bring that down just a bit to keep them like a nice little cold looking gray. Blues, bars, shirt, bring them down just a bit. Looking good. Don't think there's anything else to touch here. Everything seems all right. We can close that. Split toning. Here is the bulk of this preset and this picture's editing. As you can see, this really adds everything to it. All up here is all the highlights, and then we come down here and we have our shadows. So for this picture, for any picture, I like to usually just crank up my saturation and find the color that I want. I want to make that sky blue. So there we go, we found it. I'll bring it down. And then I find the color for my shadows. Thinking orange is nice. So something like this. Maybe bring down the blues a bit, bring down the shadows a bit. And that's pretty much it for split toning. Lens correction, throw on that profile correction, and then chromatic aberration. I just have a habit of just putting them both on. Effects, throw on a little vignette. Nothing more than something like this, just to draw some attention over to her. And then after, we're just gonna feather it down, midpoint. That's it. Nothing else, we're done with that. Camera calibration, if you want to touch this, go for it. I think for this picture, I'm gonna put the bars and like the shadows into the magentas. Reds I'll bring down. This I'll bring up just a touch. Something like that. Actually, I don't want to touch the reds. Makes it too red. 0, 0. I don't want to touch this tab at all, other than what I have already done. And what I'll do at the end is I'll just come back up and zoom into her face and then fix her eyes. They're a little bit dark, so we'll just come in and paint. Give it a nice little brush over. Brush over. Computer's having a hard time keeping up for some reason. Oh, sorry. Press O before you start painting so you can see what you painted. So I like to give it a nice light coating at about 28 just to start. And then I'll crank it up to about 50 and I'll work it in. And then I'll crank it up to about 100 and I'll shrink it down. Just like that. So that it gets stronger as you get closer to where you want to be. And I'll just try to like blend it in just like that. I think that's about blend in well enough. I'll hit O again. I'm cool. We'll bring that exposure up just a bit, about 0.3. Bring up the shadows just a little, something like that, and we'll zoom out. Boom. I think that's perfect. So now we went from not being able to see her eyes to boom, there's her eyes. And I'll just give it a once over of what I want to make little minor adjustments to. I want to make this image just a little bit warmer at 7500. Let's put it up to 78 about. Let's just do it in by hand. Boom. And magentas, greens, I think we're cool. Bring down the contrast just a little. And I think that this picture is pretty good to go. Maybe add a little bit more of a vignette. And I find that this picture is looking pretty damn good. Let's go find this vignette. I am blind. Effects, here we go. Boom. Something like this. And we're looking good right here. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to export this picture real quick. What I like to do is I will come into export. I already have everything set up. I have it set to a specifics folder on my desktop right now. Basically what I do is I tell my Lightroom to just go put all my photos in here, dump it. If there's already an existing file with the same name, it asks me what to do. I don't have to worry about it. File naming, I don't have anything to rename. I don't really care. I just leave it as whatever it is. Cool. I like to export into Jpegs. Always use sRGB if you're going to be posting online, but if you're going to do a print, go ahead and hit it into Adobe RGB because it's going to look better on print. I always like to have 100% quality and I don't want to limit my file size. There's no point. For most online work, you're going to want to put it at 72 ppi, pixels per inch, because you're not going to be seeing anything more than 72 pixels per inch on your any of your screens. If you're going to do this for prints, I generally like to put it around 300, but since this is going to be for an Instagram post or something, I'll just leave it at 72. Output sharpening, under that, I don't touch. Post-processing, if you want to open it into Photoshop or something, go for it. Do that here. I don't need to do any of that right now. Everything is perfect as it is. And that's about it for this picture. Like, I don't see what else I would do. So I hope you guys just enjoyed that video. Don't forget to drop a like and a comment down below telling me what you guys want to see next. And wait for it. I'll see you guys later.